Hello and welcome to all. In today's session, we'll see end-to-end defect life cycle. Okay, so before we start and we cover all the stages of defect life cycle or bug life cycle, first we'll understand what is defect life cycle. Okay, so defect life cycle or bug life cycle is the end-to-end journey of a defect from the moment it is identified by a tester until it is fixed, verified, and finally resolved or closed. Defect life cycle varies slightly by organization to organization, but like if you see, the core stages remain the same. Okay. And as part of today's session, I have covered all the important stages as part of defect life cycle or a bug life cycle. Okay. So proper defect life cycle improves quality, accountability, and release confidence. So why defect life cycle is important? Because it ensures the structured defect tracking, it improves the communication between the QA and developers, and it provides the visibility to product owner, and also it provides the visibility about the product quality. Okay, and it helps in release decisions. Okay, so like if you see in defect life cycle, first stage is a new. Okay, a defect is identified and logged by a QA team for the first time. So when QA team is raising the defects, okay, so we need to provide the steps to reproduce expected versus actual, then environment details, screenshot, logs. Okay, all these things we need to provide as part of defects. Okay, the obvious the ownership is QAs and like ensures defect is clear, reproducible, and complete. Okay, the next stage is the opened. Okay, till tries meeting. Okay, we'll see next slide what is tries meeting. Okay, till that time, this defect is assigned to a development team lead. Okay, so what is defect tries meeting? A defect tries meeting is a collaborative review session conducted by a QA, development lead, then product and the project stakeholder to evaluate, prioritize, and assign reported defects. Okay, so basically this tries meeting. Okay, it's a twice a week. Okay, and in in this meeting, okay, basically we are like discussing is this defect is valid, how critical is it, when should it to be fixed, who will fix it. Okay, so since like everyone is involved in prize meeting including product owner, project stakeholders, development leads, QA leads. Okay, so we are all getting all this answer in the same meeting, and after that we are assigning that defect to respective developers. Okay, then next stage is assigned. We need to change the status assigned. Then developer has accepted the defect and started working on it. Okay, and he or she is identifying the root cause analysis, and if required, code changes needs to do it. Obvious the ownership is development, and at this stage, QA should not retest until a fix is provided. Then next is fixed. Okay, so developer has implemented the fix and marked the defect as fixed. Then fix it's deployed to QA or test environment. Then important thing is here fix does not mean correct until QA verifies. Okay. So QA when QA will verify and close, then we'll say defect is closed. Okay. So we'll see. Next stage is a retest. So once defect is fixed, then QA retest the defect using the same steps mentioned in the defect. Testing is done on the latest build containing the fix, and it's focused on the validate only the reported issue, not the new functionality. And the reported issue is working as per the mentioned steps. Okay, then we'll resolve it. Okay, then next stage is verified. So QA confirms the defect is successfully fixed. Okay, expected results matches the actual behavior. Okay, then we are good to resolve or close the defect. Okay, and we'll change the next stage. Okay, and we'll put a verification comments or we can put the screenshot in a defect tool. Okay, it may be Jira or Quality Center. If in case whatever the our organization using the defect tracking tool, we need to update that things. Okay, next stage is a closed. Okay, so defect is formally closed after the successful verification. No further actions required. Okay, and like if you see, so this is a defect life cycle ends here. Okay, But other than that things, okay, what, like if defect is not fixed, then as a QA we need to reopen it. Okay, defect still exists or reappears after the fixing the mark fixed. Okay, then we need to send back to development team. Okay, it may be incorrect fix or incomplete, or that particular fix is not available in the current build, then we'll reopen it and again assign back to development team. Then it may be development team will reject the build, reject the defect. Okay, so developer determine the issue is not a valid defect. It may be different reasons like working as designed, incorrect test data, or misunderstood the requirement. The next stage is a duplicate. Okay, so defect already exists in the system. Okay, developer find the, if in case developer found the any issue is similar to this defect, so he will simply mark as duplicate and he will link the original defect ID here. The next stage is deferred. Okay, so defect is valid but postponed to a future release. Okay, it may be different reasons like low priority or timeline constraint. Okay, maybe the development team is taking more time and that is not a like priority is not that much high priority defects. Okay, or it's not require a business needs. Okay, it's a business decision. Okay, they will maybe defer it and will change the defect status deferred. The next stage, like not reproducible, developer cannot reproduce the issue with provided steps. Okay, then in that case what we need to do it as a QA may needs to provide more details or some evidence. We need to like record the screens. Okay, or we need to update the steps, or we need to provide the respective test data. Okay, so now here whatever the stages we have defined or discussed in earlier stages. So here we can see like tester finds a defect, the status is new, and then we assign to project development lead. Or in tries meeting, like as I mentioned, like QA lead is there, development lead is there, product owner is there, and other stakeholders are there. So in this tries meeting, okay, we are discussing is it a valid defect? If it is a yes, then is it in scope current release? If it is the answer is yes, then it's already raised. Okay, then no, then we'll assign to development team. Okay, and if is it a valid defect, the answer is no. Okay, then we'll reject it. Is it in scope, then we can say no and we'll mark as a deferred. Okay, is it already raised? If answer got a yes, then we'll mark as a duplicate. Okay, then here developer, once we assign to development team, then status become in progress. Okay, and later once development team give the fix, okay, and waiting for the build, okay, then status will change as a code fixed. Okay, and once build is deployed to QA environment, okay, then here as a tester we'll check it, retest it, and if test cases got passed, then we'll mark as a closed or resolved. Okay, like here tester confirm the defect is fixed. If no, then we'll reopen it. Defect is reopened and again assign back to development team or the respective developer. Okay, so this is the all the stages we have covered as a defect life cycle or the bug life cycle. Okay, and here we'll give the one example. Like suppose we have a login feature, and when user enters the valid username, valid password, click on login. Okay, application got crashed. Okay, so we have raised the defect, then tester logs the defect, and it assigned to backend developer. Okay, then next stage is the developer analyzes the issue. Then he got the fix, like something null pointer issue is there and he resolved it. Okay, then he fixed the defect and deployed to QA environment. Then QA retest it, then tester verified the login feature again. Okay, once tester verified the login feature and it's working fine, he's changing the status closed or resolved. And this is the, like we can say, entire defect life cycle. Okay, so if in case you have any questions or queries, please let me know. Thank you.